everyone. We're continuing our series on Power BI today with something a little different. I'm excited to be joined by Clay Cooper, who's our Senior Business Intelligence Analyst. Clay, thanks for speaking with me today. I'm excited to learn a little bit more about your personal Power BI journey.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. I think it's going to be fun.
Yes, definitely. Clay, can you give me a quick overview of your professional journey to date?
Sure. So my professional journey is probably a little different than most people. I'm kind of new to the whole data analytics, business intelligence world. Before coming to Blend, I was actually a pharmacist for 10 years.
Wow.
So did that, worked in a variety of pharmacy-related areas, did long-term care, retail, did a lot of different stuff in pharmacy. And kind of in that aspect, dealing with patients and stuff, you come in contact with a lot of data and a lot of ways to optimize health outcomes. And that was some of the things that really got me excited to start a journey in data analytics.
So that's super interesting. And I think it's a great story about just the many different applications of data. How did you get started specifically in Power BI? And can you talk a little bit about where that's taken you professionally?
Sure. So one of the key turning points that I had is I was volunteering for a nonprofit here in Tennessee called One Tennessee, and they were dealing with a lot of opioid type data that they were trying to help reverse like the opioid epidemic situations and all that kind of stuff. So I went to a conference in Boston with a group there and got involved with some guys at the VA that were doing these kind of visualization tools and that kind of stuff. And I really, from that conference, walked away with, I wanted to be the guy that could kind of walk in both worlds and have that data and that clinical aspect and kind of tie things together. So when I was looking for a way to learn and visualize that, I came across Maven Analytics, which is an online platform that teaches you that kind of stuff. And just by starting some of their introductory courses, I really fell in love with Power BI. I really got started with that. And that's what started my journey. I started taking online courses through them and just really tried to get involved also in like the LinkedIn community, the data community there, and just learning from everybody and absorbing everything from there. And it just kind of propelled me forward ever since.
So then you did make a career transition and you have wound up here at Blend. So can you tell me a little bit as to what attracted you to Blend 360 and this Power BI, the BI team here specifically?
Sure. So as part of that like learning process, one of the things that I had committed myself to do was put things out there on LinkedIn and kind of showcase, like, this is what I'm learning, this is how I'm building things, and just asking for constructive criticism to kind of learn feedback. And from that, I actually met Prem, who's the VP of the BI side of things. And he and I started developing a conversation and a relationship saying, hey, you're doing really great work. I think, hopefully there'll be an opportunity sometime to where we can maybe work together or collaborate or something like that. And that conversation just kept growing. And then from that, there was an opportunity that opened up with Blend, and I got to interview for that process. And just kind of looking at the whole organization structure, it's a very open place, and Prem was really excited to bring me in, and also the whole team really helps build those skills together. And there's a lot of opportunity to try new things and get involved in new things and get exposed to a lot of different industries. Being the company that we are, we have a very broad spectrum of all different kind of places we work with, whether it's financial, healthcare, or retail type organizations. So you kind of get to dive into those kind of things. And one of my favorite parts is when we have those Teams chats and people just throw up something like, hey, does anybody have an experience in fill in the blank? And there's always one or two or maybe even half a dozen people that, hey, chime in and say, hey, I can help with this or I can do that. And it's really an opportunity to kind of learn from those people, but also to kind of throw out some of your own expertise and kind of collaborate with a whole bunch of different teams.
I love that. Yeah, and I think this team continues to grow and continues to do amazing work, and we're excited to see what's coming next. Now that we've talked a bit about your expertise, I want to just drill down into Power BI a little bit more specifically. What is your favorite part of working with data in Power BI?
So I think my favorite part is, of course, everybody wants to say everything because all the parts are important and they're all fun in their own aspect. But for me, I'm a very visual person, and even before I was a pharmacist, when I was an undergrad, I did some work with the marketing department at the university that I was at, and built some publications and marketing materials around that. So being able to visualize those kind of things is really fun for me. Being able to build something that works, that is useful, that's accurate, but also is aesthetically pleasing in a way that you can kind of look at it like, oh, that looks really cool. And that's what my favorite part about Power BI is. Somebody will say, hey, can you build this, or what do you think about how would you do this? And I'm like, I don't know. We can try it and see what we come up with. And when you do that and you have that opportunity to explore, which I think is another great thing about Blend, you have that opportunity to kind of explore those avenues. You can really come up with some really cool and different stuff and use the tools that are in Power BI in new and different ways.
That's really exciting, Clay, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next in the field and in our series. So thank you so much for joining me today. And I really enjoyed learning about your journey. I think it's super inspiring, and look forward to continuing to work with you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.